All right, here we are at makecode.microbit.org, which is the block-based editor for the microbit. So to start, we are going to change some project settings. So first I'm going to name this. I'm just going to call it Neopixel for Neopixel Bluetooth. And I need to add a couple of packages. Now, these packages are experimental at this point, and so you need the project URL. So one of them is, they're both at Laboratory for Playful Computation GitHub repository, and so I'm just copying the URL and I put it in here, and so I'm going to add that one. And basically that's a Neopixel library that simply allows it to work with Bluetooth, and no other changes have been made to the package besides that. The other one I need is the Blocky-Talkie Bluetooth side of the microbit side. So I am going to grab that URL, and I'm also going to copy that in for a package. You can see that Bluetooth and radio cannot be used at the same time. So this is going to, I'm going to allow Blocky-Talkie BLE to be added, and it removes the radio package. So you can see right here it's added both Bluetooth and Blocky-Talkie BLE. And Blocky-Talkie BLE basically uses the Bluetooth. So the last thing I want to do is I want to change how I pair my microbit and my Android phone, and so I've switched it so that it's unsecure pairing. Now this is just to make development easier. JustWorks pairing and passkey pairing are both more secure, but they just take a little bit longer, and when I've only got one microbit plugged in, it's just easier to use unsecure pairing for right now. So I save that, and now I'm going to start building the parts that I need. So when the microbit app starts, it automatically is ready to start connecting with a Bluetooth client, which is what the phone is. So what I like to do is I simply like to do, again, when Bluetooth is connected, I want to be able to see that real quickly, and I just put up a C. And then when Bluetooth is disconnected, I want to put up, oops, I want to show string of a D. All right, so that's all I really need now for connecting to the Blocky-Talkie BLE. Now what I'd like to do though is I'd like to start building some of the things I need in order to use Neopixel. So what I have right now is a strand of 10 Neopixels. So what I want to do then is and I attached it at pin 0. So I'm going to create a variable, and I'm going to call it Neop to keep it short. And I am going to set that here, and I want to do this all in OnStart. So I've got a couple of things I want to do in OnStart. I want to set the Neopixel, and I want to say there's 10 LEDs in it. And then I also want to start, just like I have the variables red, green, and blue on the other side, I'm going to need the same thing here. So I'm going to make a variable red, and I'm not going to show you this whole thing. A variable blue, and make a variable green. Blah. Okay, and I'm just going to set them to some starting values. Okay, and let's make a red strand to start with. So I'm going to set red to 255. I'm going to copy paste. I'm going to set the other ones to 0. There we got green. to 0, and blue to 0. Now for this to show up, what I want to do then is go to Neopixel, and I want to set the whole strand. There we go. Whoops, I want to show color. But I want to make my color. So I am going to, whoops, use this for my color. And again, I'm going to pass in, rather than using numbers, I am going to pass in variables. So here we've got red. And because I want this to show up well on the video, I have to drop the brightness really low. So I am going to grab a set brightness, and I'm going to set that. Oops. Not going to worry about the order of things. To 2. Normally I wouldn't set the brightness this low, but I want this to be as visible as possible when I demo it, so I realize I have to really drop the brightness down. Normally though, I probably would set the brightness to like, oh, I don't know. Actually, I would make it so that the user could adjust it, but for today, I'm just going to have the brightness set to 2. All right, let's see if this is everything I need to make this work. Okay, I realized I had a small bug here in that I forgot to change this item variable name to Neop. Once I do that, whoops, and reload, okay, we can now see that I've got my red color that I expected. Not sure why this is GRB format, but I'm going to let this go right now. Okay, a couple more things I want to do before I actually want to download to the microbit. One thing I always like to have is I like to always have some icon at the beginning so that I actually know when my microbit is done loading. And I'm going to add a quick debug of when I press on button A, I am going to change the value of blue. So I'm going to set blue, and this is just for a quick debug. I'm just going to add 50 to it each time. So I'm going to do a little math, add, let's see, I'm going to say set blue to blue plus 50. And then again, I'm going to grab this show color and just use copy and paste to put it down there. Okay, so now I think I'm ready to download. So I download the file, and then I am going to put it onto my microbit and show you the results. Okay, here are the results of the download. You can see there's my heart. I've got my Neopixels. I'm using a little breakout board. And I'm sorry everything is dark, but I'm trying to make it easy to see the changes in colors on the video. And so I'm using a filter to make it more like what I see. But here we go. So I pressed the A button a couple of times, and you can see all of a sudden there's more blue in it, and it goes back to red. So it looks like that's working. So now we want to start connecting together the Android app and the microbit so that we can get more colors than just this, what I can get with. And now we're going to add what is the microbit supposed to do when it gets a message. So I grab the on message received out of Blocky Talkie BLE. So you can see Blocky Talkie BLE only has 2 blocks: send a key value and a handler when you receive a key value. So again, I'm going to set the key to, okay, when I receive the message read, I simply want to set that variable to the value. So I'm going to copy this. I want to set read to, now the value, as I said before, comes as a string. I need to go into text, and I need to do parse to an integer, and then instead of a string, I want to grab that variable value. All right, and so now I'm going to do that 2 more times with green and blue. And I will just do this real quick. So I set that to green, and I change the variable to green, and just to blue, and set the variable to blue. And that's it. So now basically I should be able to control the through the microbit from the App Inventor app on the Android phone. I should have a working application. So let's load everything in and give it a try. All right, I realize that I need to do one more thing. I also need to call show color on every message. So I'm going to copy this. And place it here. Let's get a little tight. Add that into each of my messages so that when I receive a message, I change the color. And then I also set the Neopixel string to show those colors. All right, here's the demo of the project. So I've downloaded the latest code to the microbit right here. You can see the heart. Got my 10 red LEDs, and I've got my phone here, which you can also see on the screen. So now, as you can see, it's already found a microbit, so I say choose a microbit. I've only got one that's plugged in right now and is using Bluetooth, so I choose that one. You can see it's connected. So it now says C on the microbit, and it says connected here. And now I can start playing with the colors a little bit. So I can bring red all the way up, which is where we were. And it's really hard to tell, but this is actually working pretty well. It's matching the colors. And so I'm just going to play around with this a little bit. And in reality, these colors are pretty close to what you see on the screen. Realize, of course, these are LEDs, and so it's not perfect. But in real life, it works better than it's showing up here. So that is my demo, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks a lot.